is important. Are you still committed to Commonwealth's negotiating treaties?
Patricia, well, where does it say that? It doesn't even say that in the Uluru Statement from the Heart. It doesn't say that. It doesn't speak about the Commonwealth negotiating treaties. It doesn't say that, Patricia. So don't get sucked into...
I'm not sucked into anything. I just want to know what your position is.
Yesterday, in an interview with Patricia Cavallis on Radio National, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese misled his party's support for a federal treaty with Indigenous Australians, and he continues to mislead Australians about the obvious link between his voice and his federal treaty process. He has contradicted his own words and those of his current ministers. As Shadow Minister Linda Burney said, an Albanese Labor government will also make Makarrata Treaty and truth-telling a priority. It will work with the voice to Parliament when it is established. With respect to treaty, it would recommend a framework for federal treaty making. As Shadow Minister Mark Dreyfus said, Labor has committed to honouring that request by establishing in government, as a matter of priority, a Makarrata Commission. The Commission's oversight of treaty would include developing a framework for federal treaty making. As opposition leader, Anthony Albanese has said, an Albanese Labor government will establish a Makarrata Commission as a priority. It will work with the voice to Parliament when it is established. The Makarrata Commission's treaty responsibilities will initially include recommending a framework for federal treaty making. And on the 12th of the 2nd, 2020, in the House of Representatives, Anthony Albanese also said, the voice must be followed by truth-telling. Truth must be followed.
Please resume your seat. Senator Polley, on a point of order.
Just a reminder through you, Chair, of the correct title for the Prime Minister.
Senators are reminded to use the appropriate titles for members and senators. Senator Hanson.
The voice must be followed by truth-telling. Truth must be followed by a Makarrata Commission. It's a path to a national treaty that acknowledges the pre-existing rights of peoples in land where sovereignty was never ceded, and acknowledges that we are on what is Aboriginal land, always will be, always was, always will be. That is not deserving of Prime Minister, and as far as I'm concerned, he's nothing but a coward and should be thrown out of this. He's a bloody liar.
Senator Hanson, resume your...
If the voice passes, will you move to trying to negotiate a treaty or treaties?
No, Patricia, because that's occurring with the states. So
you're saying the Commonwealth will never have a role with treaties?
Right now.
With respect to treaty, it would recommend a framework for federal treaty making.
Processes are occurring.
But federally, you've committed to the Uluru Statement.
No. Yeah, and it's not a treaty. That's like saying, do you support the sun coming up? It's occurring.
With respect to treaty, it would recommend a framework for federal treaty making.